Okay, so now we're back onto the next maths section. So in question 10, it says liquid plant food costs £3.20 per litre. So I'm going to write 1 litre equals £3.20. The question says how much is the cost of 1,500 millilitres. Now, you know 1 litre is also 1,000 millilitres. I'm going to write this over here. Okay. Now, 500 millilitres. I know the cost of 1,000, which is this bit here. I need 500 millilitres. So 500 millilitres. What am I going to do? Well, I know that 500 is half of 1,000. So I divided 1,000 by 2 to get 500. So whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other side. So I'm going to divide the other side by 2 as well. So £3.20 divided by 2 is £1.60. Okay, now if you can't do things like that in your head, then you do a quick little calculation to work it out. Now, it's asking us what is the cost of it. So we need to now add the both of them together. Do not start and write out another sum. In your rough work page, just do your plus sign and then add it together, okay? You're trying to save time as well. So 0 plus 0 is 0. 6 plus 2 is 8. Don't forget your decimal point. And 3 plus 1 is 4. So the answer is £4.80, okay? Go over it again. 1,000 millilitres is 1 litre. Half of that is 500 millilitres. It's asking us for 1,500, so that will be £3.20. Half of £3.20 is £1.60, and then add the two together. Okay, garden wire costs 60 pence per metre. What is the cost of 150 centimetres of wire? Now, metre is, change that to centimetres. We know is 100 centimetres. I need 50 centimetres. So it's telling me that it's 60p per metre. So I know 100 centimetres is 60p. I know that 50 is half of 100. So divide that by 2. Whatever you do to one side, remember the rule? You do to the other side. So 60 divided by 2 is 30p. So what is the total cost of those? Well, 60 plus 30, don't even have to do a sum, is 90p. Okay, a boat left port A and travelled to port B as shown in the grid. Okay, so it was here and then it travelled to here. What direction did it travel? All right, and I'm not going to go and get a ruler, I'm just going to do this roughly for you. So, north, you know this is south. Never eat, so that's east. Okay, shredded wheat. And I would never eat shredded wheat. So now what's going to happen in between? So between north and east, you've got northeast. Between south and east, you've got southeast. And between south and west, you've got southwest. North and west, you've got northwest. Okay, so the boy's going to start, or the boat, sorry, is going to start up here. And it's going to travel all the way down there. You can see exactly the same as there is in the little picture, and it's going to be down here. So the direction of travel is south-west. Okay? Now, complete the number statement below by writing the missing numbers in the space provided. So 6 times 20 is the same as, because that's what that equal sign means, okay? It's the same as, has to give the same answer, all right? As 3 times what? All right, they're both going to give you the same answer. You could work it out by doing 6 times 20 is what, and then finding out what that is divided by 3 to give you your answer. But there's a much easier way. So let's have a wee look at it. We know the answer for both are going to be the same. So what's happening here? So we know, remember the answer is going to be the same. So we know this side here, it's getting smaller. It's dividing by 2. So if the answer is going to stay the same, if they divided this side by 2, then we know they're going to have to multiply this side by 2. Okay, you can't divide it by 2, your number's going to be smaller. So 20 times 2 is 40. Now, let's just check to make sure that we've got it right. So 6 times 2 is 12. We multiply that by 10 because we know that's 20. That would be 120. 3 times 4 would be 12. So 3 times 40 would be 120. So the answer is 40. Now, again, we will be doing lots of questions where whatever happens to 1 in this one here, we had to divide it one side by 2 and then double on the other side. We'll be doing lots of examples of that. This one's an easy one. Sometimes they do it where there's decimals, sometimes they do it where there's really big numbers, but don't worry. By the time you are ready to do your transfer, you will be an expert at it. Right, now we're on to sequences. To make this sequence of numbers, you double the previous number. So let's have a look at it. 12, double it, multiply by 2 is 24, double it, 24 times 2 is 48, okay? So write in the missing number in the space provided. So we are going to have to work backwards. So the backwards from doubling, multiplying by 2, is you're going to divide by 2. So we're going to work out what is called the inverse. So this way, we're multiplying by 2, the inverse going backwards, we're going to be dividing by 2. So 48 divided by 2, I'm going to write it under here, is 24. 24 divided by 2 is 12. And then we're going to do exactly the same thing, divide it by 2. 12 divided by 2 is 6. And I wonder, is 6 divided by 2 3? Yes, it is, so we know we've got that right, okay? Now, this was an easier one. Sometimes they don't tell you what happens in a sequence. So at least in this one here, they told you the rule to use. Okay, so in this question here, it's asking you to look at the statements, okay? There are 4 statements down here that are in the past tense. Now remember, past tense is something that happened not now, maybe happened 2 minutes ago, yesterday, last week, month ago, or whenever you were a baby, okay? So at this very moment, now, very moment in time, so happens now, we are eating our dinner, or we're eating dinner. So it's happening now. So it can't be the past tense because it's happening now. So that's not past tense. Unfortunately, I snacked earlier, okay? So that isn't the past tense because it was something you did before now. And remember, most past tense, it's got an ed ending. There are some exceptions, like I am running, yesterday I ran, and whatever, and you know we will go over all those exceptions. But I snacked earlier, so that's definitely the past tense because you did it earlier, okay? What's it asking you to do? Asking you to tick, so you make sure you've got your tick in. So this one here, looking forward, I will eat fewer treats. I don't know who they're trying to kid here, but looking forward, so that means going into the future. I will do something. Doesn't say I did, all right? So it's not in the past tense. So that's definitely not a past tense because that's a future one. Hopefully this will keep me healthy. We're eating lots of smoothies, drinking lots of smoothies in our house to try and keep ourselves healthy. So this will in the future, so it's not past tense. So the only one there is the one that says I snacked earlier. So next one, which word is an adjective? Now remember, an adjective describes a noun. So in any of these words, try and put it with a noun to see if it makes sense. So I'm just going to pick banana. Doesn't make any sense, but I'm gonna put banana as my noun. All right. So longer banana. Does that work? Could be, because you could have a longer banana than I could. We'll come back to that in a minute. Ship's banana. That doesn't make any sense, does it? Okay. Turn banana. Doesn't make any sense. Slowly banana. I'm not sure a banana can slowly on its own. Sure it can't. Slowly banana. No, because we know that that's actually an adverb and has to go along with a verb. So that isn't an adjective. So the only one it would be longer. Okay. Now you don't necessarily have to put banana. I just picked a noun because that's the best thing for you to do whenever you're trying to see if what parts of speech they are, is think of a noun and see if it works with it. Now sometimes it might not make sense, like sun, longer sun, but you know that ship sun, turn sun, slowly sun doesn't make any sense, okay? So which word is a noun? Remember, noun is a naming word, okay? So tick the correct answer below. There's only one answer because it's only singular, it's not plural. Red? No, because we know that red is an adjective. The red jumper's the noun. Red describes the noun, so we know that's not definitely not a noun. Chairs, is a noun a naming word? Yeah. Is it a thing? Yeah, chairs is a thing because there's 6 of them sitting around our table. But we'll come back to it in a minute. Often, does this happen often? Oh, that's not a thing. It's not a noun, so that's definitely not part of speech. Collapse, that's what something does. The chair might collapse. The chair might collapse. Is it he collapsed is the verb, so it's a verb, it's a doing word, so the only one there that's a noun is chairs. All right. Now, when you're asked questions like this about adjectives or noun or adverbs or whatever, those are called parts of speech questions. But we will be doing lots and lots of those whenever you're doing work on parts of speech in class. We'll be doing lots and lots of work. We look at sentences, we take them apart, we try to look for the noun, we try to look for the adjectives and so on, okay? So don't worry about those types of questions. Very, very soon you'll be experts on them. So next one, look at the equation below. A plus 5 equals 9. B take away 5 equals 7. And then once we work out what A and B are, then we have to do a sum down here. So forget about this second part of the question. Let's look at the first part, okay? So this question actually has 3 parts to it. You have to work out what A is, work out what B is, and then do the sum. So A plus 5 equals 9. Now this is called algebra. And in school, we would usually do lots and lots of algebra in the 3rd term. So A is a number. A just stands for a number, any number. It could be X, it could be Y, it could be Z, whatever. They just happen to pick A. Okay, it stands for the number. So what does A mean in this sum? What does A mean? So what number, when you add 5 to it, gives you 9? Well, we could work backwards and say 9 take away 5. Well, you know 9 take away 5 gives us 4. So let's go forward and check. Is 4 plus 5 9? Yes, it is. Okay, so what number, when you take away 5, is going to give you 7? So this time it's a take away. So if we're going to work backwards, we do the inverse, which means the opposite. So instead of taking away, we're going to add. So 7 plus 5 equals 12. Now let's check. 12 take away 5, does that equal 7? Yes, it does. Now, be careful when you get to this bit that you don't put them round the wrong way. So A equals 4 and B equals 12. Now we have to work out the answer. So 4 times 12, you know that from your tables. Or if you can't work it out that way, you can do it as a sum. 4 12s are 48.